Hello and welcome to this session of Age-Well Yoga. My name is Sue and tonight I'm going to be taking you through a gentle yoga flow. We're going to be working in poses, matching our breath to our movements. And tonight's theme is calm and actually engendering calm within us so that we can actually be peaceful and calm and responsive rather than reactive to the world around us. It's quite a busy time in the world. It's also autumn. And so it's a good time to be earthy, to be grounding ourselves and to be finding that sense of calm. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And as always, please work within your range, do what feels good for you today and just use my prompts as suggestions for how to move your body and do what is right for you. We'll get started in Sukhasana, easy seat, cross-legged. Sit with your legs crossed, just relax. Your hands in your lap or on your knees, on your thighs. And to start with, we'll actually take a few breaths. Take a deep breath in. And release it. This time as you breathe in, feel your abdomen expand, your chest expand, and your shoulders expand. And then let it go. And once again, a deep breath in, 3-part breath through the abdomen, expanding, chest expanding, shoulders expanding. And then open your lips and sigh out through your mouth. Oh, beautiful. This time, just rest your hands on the ground, palms up. On the inhale, stretch your arms out to the sides, stretch, take up lots of space, don't bump anybody who's close to you. Stretch your hands overhead and just feel the stretch in your side body, palms facing as though you're holding a big beach ball between your hands. And exhale, hands together and hands to heart center. Do that again, inhaling, hands on the ground. Inhaling, stretching our arms out to the side, up above our heads, palms facing. Just descend the shoulders. And then on the exhale, palms together and hands to heart center. One more time, inhale, stretching your hands out, up overhead, hands together and hands to heart center as you exhale. This time, inhale, stretch your arms out to the side, up overhead. And on your exhale, drop your right hand to the floor and lean over to the right. Upper left arm by your ear. And just ground your left sit bone into the earth and feel the stretch through your left side body. Looking forward, just take a few breaths here. Letting your body soften. No need to stretch overly, just let it soften. And then inhale, stretching both hands up. And then exhale, drop your left hand to the left side and your right hand over your right ear, right arm over your right ear. Looking forward. Just anchor your right sit bone into the ground. Feel that stretch in your right side body. Then inhale and stretch up, both hands to center and hands together, palms down at heart center. Inhale, stretch your hands out to the side, up above your head. And this time look over your right shoulder, drop your left hand to the outside of your left knee, right hand behind you, into a gentle twist. So here, just sit upright. Tuck in your chin slightly and feel the stretch through your neck as you look over your right shoulder. As you inhale, stretch up, stretch your body up, right from your sit bones all the way through your spine, back of your neck, and so that the crown of your head is tall. And on the exhale, just look a bit further over your shoulder. One more, stretch up, inhale. And exhale, look over your right shoulder. On your next inhale, come back to center, hands above the head. And to the left side, look to the left side, right hand outside of left knee. Left hand relaxes behind you to support you, looking over your left shoulder. And again, inhale, stretch your crown sky high, creating length in your spine as you look over your left shoulder on the exhale. Inhale and stretch up. And exhale, look a bit further over your left shoulder. Inhale and bring your hands back overhead, looking to center. And exhale, sweep your hands behind you, fingers pointing away, and have your hands either domed or flat on the floor, whichever suits you best. And just start to arc your lower back. Squeeze your shoulder blades and elbows together and look at the ceiling. Don't drop your head all the way back. We don't want to cramp your head, your neck. And feel the stretch through your front side body, through from your hips, all the way up through your chest, your ribs, through your neck to your chin. Great exercise for people who spend the day on computers or in offices. Take a few breaths here and just notice your chest, the way it expands out to the side. On your next inhale, push yourself forward, raise your hands up above your head. And on the exhale, bend forward, bending over your knees, and put your hands on the floor in front of you. You might like to walk your hands forward a little bit. And take 2 breaths here. You can lower your head to the ground or towards the ground. Tuck your chin towards your chest so you get a stretch in the back of your neck. Inhale, stretch up, stretching your hands up above your head. And then palms together and hands to heart center. And just put your hands on your knees or your thighs again. And before we leave easy seat, just notice how your spine feels now. You've probably warmed it up a little bit. Just notice your sit bones connecting with the earth, creating stability. Notice how your mind is now. You've done some exercises, some asana. And just imagine that there's a golden thread from the crown of your head stretching up to the sky, creating space in your spine, space between each vertebrae, allowing you to be more mobile, more flexible, and strong, calm, grounded. And when you're ready, come onto all fours. Tabletop position, ditch the cushion. So on all fours, the knees are directly under the hips and the wrists are directly under the shoulders. Your hands are splayed wide, fingers are splayed wide, thumbs pointing more or less towards each other. Press into the fingertips of your hands so your hands are almost like they're going to be domed. Feet stretch straight back. Tuck in the core, so navel towards the spine. Tailbone stretches back. Crown of the head stretches forward. Tabletop position. Neutral spine. So this spine position is similar to how you were when you were in Sukhasana easy seat. We'll do some cat-cow, so breathe in, and as you breathe in, draw a line up with your nose towards the ceiling. Raise your hips to the ceiling and belly towards the mat. Cow pose. Exhale, tuck your chin to chest and round through the back. Cat pose. And following your breath, inhale, back to cow. Stretching your hips up towards the sky, belly drops towards the mat, and you open your heart space. Exhale, tuck in your chin to chest, push the earth away from you as you round into cat. Inhale, and come back into cow. Shine your heart space forward, looking upwards, and exhale into cat. Rounding through the back, navel to spine. And come back to tabletop neutral spine. And then bump your hips to the left and look to the left, feeling that stretch in the right side of your body. Inhale as you come back to tabletop neutral spine. Bump your hips to the right and look to the right. Look towards your tail, to your right hip. Feel the stretch in your left side body. And come back to tabletop. Inhale and stretch your right hand out to the side, pointing it right out to the side and then right up to the ceiling, looking at your hand as you go. And then exhale as your hand comes back down to the mat. Inhale, left side, hand stretches out to the side, up towards the sky, and then drops back on the exhale down to the mat. Just check your alignment, that you're still in tabletop. Hips are still under your, knees are still under your hips, and wrists are still under your shoulders. We'll thread the needle. So this time, raising the right hand out to the side as before, up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bring your right hand under your left arm, palm facing up, and bring your right shoulder and ear down to the mat. Anchor your hips back. And you may like to stretch your left hand towards the left top corner of your mat, threading the needle. A great exercise for the shoulders, the neck, and also stretches the back. Just a gentle twist in the back. If you moved it, return your left hand under your face. On the next inhale, push up, stretch your right hand out to the side, up to the sky, and then return it back under your shoulder. Thread the needle on the left side. Inhale, stretch your left hand out and up towards the sky, and then exhale and bring your left hand under your right arm, palm up, left shoulder and left ear to the ground. Stay here, or if you like, you can stretch your right hand up to the right top corner of your mat. And breathe here. Just notice where you feel the stretch in your back, shoulders, to the neck. Could be in your feet. And then return your hand to under your face if you've moved it up to the top of the corner of your mat. And inhale as you push up, stretch your left hand back out to the side, up above your head, and then down to the mat. Wonderful. Now just basically walk forward with your hands until you get onto your stomach, and we'll go into Sphinx pose. Elbows under your shoulder, and hands again splayed out in front of you, forearms flat, so thumbs are facing. Stretching your fingers out wide. The tops of your feet are pressing into the earth so that your knees are off the mat. So you can feel pressure in your groin, you're taking the weight in your groin. And you're looking forward, shining your heart space forward. broad through the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. And relax, put both hands on top of each other, elbows to the side, and put your forehead on your hands. So hands are stacked on top of each other. And just take a moment here to feel the ground under you, to feel the earth supporting you. And then place your hands under the shoulders, onto your shoulders. Have your elbows tightly tucked in next to your ribs. Inhale and draw a line again with your nose upwards, just pressing lightly on your hands, pressing again into your feet. Elbows are off the mat, cobra. And exhale as you come down gently. We'll do that one more time, tucking in the elbows into the ribs, pressing through the tops of the feet. Knees are off the mat. Inhale and roll your head and shoulders up with some weight in your hands. And when you're ready, exhale and come down. Return your hands so the hands are stacked on top of each other, elbows are pointing out to the side, and your forehead is on your hands. Bring your shins up to vertical and just wave your feet from side to side like windscreen wipers in a car to release the lower back. Just one way and then the other. Before returning your feet back to the ground. Now tuck your hands again, hands under your shoulders. Inhale, press back into tabletop, and then tuck your toes and come into downward dog. First downward dog of the day. Downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Shavasana. So the feet are parallel, about hip width apart. And just twist your feet so that your heels disappear behind your feet. You can't see them. You can have a soft bend in your knees, but try and track your heels towards the mat. Hips are high to the sky. Hands are splayed, pressing through the fingertips, and the shoulders are away from the ears. Active in the core. So we'll walk our dog. Basically, we are going to bend the right knee in, just massage the right toes and track the left heel to the ground. And then the left knee comes in, right heel to the ground. Alternate those, that's walking your dog. And you've done that a few times. Just find stillness in your downward facing dog. Inhale. Stretch your right leg straight up to the sky, toes pointing towards the mat. Your hips stay parallel with the mat. Exhale, knee towards chest and nose, rounding through the back. Exhale, so inhale, stretch your leg up to the sky, and exhale, bring it back down to the mat. Three-legged dog on the left side. Inhale. Raise your left leg up to the sky, straight leg, bending your toes, so pointing your toes to the floor. Exhale, knee to nose and chest. Inhale, straighten your leg straight up, left leg up, and exhale, bring it back down to dog pose. Inhale, raise your right leg up to the sky, toes pointing down. And exhale and bring your knee towards your chest and your nose, and then bring it in between your hands. You might need to move your right hand or step it 2 or 3 times to get it in between your hands. Best you can. Drop your left knee to the mat. And your right knee is in a square. Your right knee is over your right ankle. Inhale and stretch both hands backwards so they're near your hips, pointing backwards. Exhale and relax here. Inhale, swing your arms forward and above your head, palms facing, Anjaneyasana. If this is wobbly, you can have your feet wider apart, so your foot and your knee aren't on the same line, like they're on tram tracks. And the other thing you can do is activate both of your thighs as though they were a pair of scissors and they're trying to track towards each other. So both the thighs are trying to get together. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale, rain your hands down so they frame your right foot. Inhale and stretch your right arm out to the side and have it point towards the sky so you can lean back on your left hand. Exhale and release that hand down to the ground. Inhale, lean back and slide your right heel forward for half splits. So your left hip is above your left knee, your right leg is forward. It might have a bend in it. The aim is to get it straight eventually. And your toes point towards your shins. Half splits. While you're in half splits, inhale, stretch your chest and your head forward. And as you exhale, just soften your body, see if it can get a little bit closer to your right leg. One more, inhale, stretching forward. And exhale, just soften down a little bit more. Wonderful. Inhale and bring your foot back in between your hands. Tuck your left toes in, leaning on both hands. Push back into dog pose. We'll do that on the left side now. So inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky, toes pointing down. Exhale, knee to chest to nose, and then step it through to your hands. Just do that however you can. And then lower your right knee to the mat. You may untuck your foot or not, that's up to you. So your left knee is in a square above your left ankle, tracking towards your second and third toes. Inhale and stretch your arms back by your hips, pointing backwards. And exhale, just relax here for a moment. Just adjust your stance and make sure that you've got the width you need for stability. Inhale and stretch your hands forward and then above your head, palms facing, Anjaneyasana. Just squeeze your thighs together as though they were squeezing together. Press into your right foot, top of your right foot, and activate your core to protect your lower back. Looking straight ahead. You might like to find a focus point to help you with your balance. Inhale, stretch up, stretch through those side body, and exhale, rain your hands down to frame your left foot. Put your weight in your right hand and inhale, stretch your left hand out to the side and up to the sky. Just stretching right over. You might feel that stretch in your left hip and in your shoulders. Exhale and return your left hand to the mat. Tuck in your right toes and push back into dog pose. Well done. Inhale and exhale. Walk your feet towards your hands. Feet towards your hands. Bending your knees. Grasp opposite elbows with your hands and just almost sort of like sway from side to side, bending one knee a little bit and then the other. Just feel that stretch in your hamstrings, in your glutes. Nod your head or shake it to release the neck. And then let your hands go. They might be on the floor, they might just be dangling.
And inhale and come up to standing vertebrae by vertebrae from the tailbone through the lower back, the middle back, upper back, shoulders, neck. And when you get to standing, just roll your shoulders back a couple of times to broaden across the chest so you can let more air in. And then we'll stand into Tadasana, mountain pose. Feet can be up to hip width apart, depending on what feels comfortable. You might have a slight bend in your knees, or you can have them straight. Tailbone descends towards the ground. Tuck in your navel towards the spine, broad across the collarbones, hands facing forward. Elbow creases facing forward. Creating that space for your lungs, for your chest. And again, we'll think about the golden thread from the top of your head, stretching up to the sky, creating space and flexibility in your spine. Just check in with your body. Notice the four corners of your feet connecting to the mat, the base of your little toe, the base of your big toe, and the two corners of your heels. Just notice that earthing energy coming up through your legs, through your body, providing calm, stability, certainty. And then as you stand here, just tip your head to one side, left ear towards left shoulder. And then back to center, right ear to right shoulder. Back to center. Inhale, stretch your right hand out to the side. Have it pointing overhead by your ear. And exhale, lean across to the left. So your left hand slides down your left thigh. Your right hand is pointing to the right. Inhale, come up. And exhale, bring your hand down. Left side. Inhale, stretch your hand out to the side, arm up ahead. And then exhale, bending over. Just creating space in the side body. And inhale, stretching up. And return that left hand down by your side. This time, inhale, stretching both hands up above the head as though you had a beach ball between your hands, palms facing, and hands together and palms to heart center. One more time, inhale, stretching out, stretching up the sky, feel that stretch in your side body, and then hands to heart center as you exhale. Inhale, this time hands out, up to the sky. And on the exhale, look to the right. Left hand points forward, right hand points back. Inhale, stretch up and come back to center. Both hands up. And then go to the left. Looking to the left, right hand points forward, left hand points back. Inhale, stretching up and come to center. And hands to heart center. Wonderful. Sun salutation A. So standing at the top of your mat, starting in Tadasana, mountain pose. So just active through the feet, tailbone stretches down, shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, stretch your hands above your heads. And then exhale, bend your knees, push your hips back, chair pose. As though you're about to sit on a chair, but you've got your hands up. Inhale, stretch your hands up. Exhale, fold forward over your knees and down to the ground. You might have your hands on your shins. on your ankles, just put them wherever is comfortable. And then inhale, coming halfway, so halfway lift, so body is parallel with the ground. And then exhale, forward fold again. Plant your hands on either side of your feet, nice and firmly, and step back into dog pose. Inhale here, and on the exhale, come into tabletop, and then move your weight forward so your shoulders are over your wrists and you're in supported plank. Just stay in supported plank for a minute, pushing up through your hands, through the shoulders, rounding through the shoulders. Crown is stretching forward. Inhale, and on the exhale, tuck your elbows in towards your ribs and lower your torso to the mat. Slowly as you can. Hands under the shoulders. Pressing the feet into the floor, tops of the feet into the floor so the knees are off the mat. Inhale into cobra. Head comes up, shoulders up, looking forward. And exhale, coming down. We'll do that one more time. Hands under the shoulders, elbows into the ribs, pressing into the top of the feet. Inhale, pressing up, head comes up, shoulders come up. Cobra, and exhale. Inhale, pushing with the hands back into supported plank, tabletop, tuck the toes and into downward dog. This time, walk your hands back towards your feet. Opposite hands have opposite elbows, sway from side to side. And inhale as you come up, vertebrae by vertebrae, rolling up the back. Just becoming aware of all of the parts of your back. Wonderful. Going to do some standing poses now. I'm going to do warrior two. Vinyasa 2. So coming to the top of your mat. Inhale, stretch your hands out to the side, up above your head. Exhale, folding forward. Hands on your shins or on the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting your hands and come back into dog pose. Hips to the sky, chest and forehead towards the mat. Want to shake your head to loosen your neck. Inhale, raise your right foot up to the sky. And exhale, knee to nose and then foot through towards your hands, in between your hands. So your right leg is in a square, your right knee is over your right ankle. And then turn your left foot so it's at about 60 degrees. Inhale and cartwheel your left hand over towards the back of the mat. Right hand points to the front of the mat. So your torso is vertical. We'll go through the feet first. So your right foot is pointing forward. Pressure on the outside edge of your foot more than the inside. Your right knee is tracking over your right ankle, and your knee is pointing towards your left and third toes. So trying to get that front leg in a square. Back leg is anchored firmly. So you're pressing into the outside edge of your back leg as well. Torso is over so shoulders are over your hips, and you can look at your right hand. Warrior 2. Flip your right hand over so it faces the ceiling. Inhale and stretch your hand up towards the sky. Left hand goes down to left thigh. Reverse warrior. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, bring your right arm forward, right elbow towards your right thigh. And the left hand sweeps over your ear. Left arm is over the ear. You might be able to get a little bit more bend in your right leg now. So tucking in your right hip. Just understand all of the balance that you're doing here. There's a lot of work going on in the core, in your legs, in your arm. Just try and keep calm while you're doing it. See if you can notice the energy, the line of energy from the back foot all the way through to your hand that's over your head. Inhale and come back up to warrior two. Hands, arms parallel with the floor, looking along your right hand. Inhale, and on the exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the front of the mat. Twist your left foot so it's pointing forward. Inhale here, and on the exhale, return to downward dog. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, raise your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, left knee to chest to nose, and then step your foot through so it's in between your hands. Right foot is at 60 degrees, planted on the ground. Inhale, and as you come up, you cartwheel your right hand towards the back of the mat. Left hand points forward. Left foot is in a square. Sorry, left leg is in a square. Left knee over left ankle. Tracking towards second and third toes. Shoulders stack over the hips, and you're looking over your left hand. Warrior two on the left side. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. Just imagine you're being stretched by your little fingers backwards. You're coming backwards towards each other to get that breadth across your chest. Flip your left hand so the palm faces the sky. Inhale and just point your left hand up to the sky. Right hand is on your thigh. Reverse warrior. Inhale and stretch up. Exhale and bring your left forearm down to the left thigh. Just check that your knee is still over your ankle and your right foot is grounded on the floor. Both should have more weight on the outside than the inside. And then stretch your right arm up, pointing forward, pinky towards the ground, upper arm by the ear. Tuck your left hip in. Feel that stretch, that energy, all the way from your right heel to your right fingertips. Inhale and cartwheel your hands back so you're in warrior two. Hands again, arms again, parallel with the floor. And exhale, frame them down to frame your left hand, left foot, I mean. Point your right toes forward and push back into downward dog. Walk your hands towards your feet and go into ragdoll. Opposite hands have elbows and just sway from side to side. And then slowly coming back up, rolling up to standing. And again, just rolling your shoulders out. Do a little bit of balancing. So the most important thing with balance is basically to make sure that you've got a point of focus. So just look at something in front of you that you can actually focus on while you're doing this. It makes it a lot easier. So first of all, just hands on hips, lifting up our right leg, thighs parallel with the ground, shin is vertical, and just circling our ankle 5 times clockwise. On the right side, this is 5 times clockwise, and then 5 times anti-clockwise. And then return that foot down to the earth. Before we go to the other side, just notice how both of the legs feel. Do they feel different? How do they feel different? Inhale and raise your left thigh, and 5 rotations clockwise for your left ankle, foot and ankle. Big circles, if you can get. Making sure that you focus on that point in front of you, and then 5 the other way, anti-clockwise. Wonderful. Okay, so this time, raising the right leg up again, so it's bent. Bend your left leg and cross your right foot over your left thigh. Flexing your right foot, so your right sort of shin is on your left thigh, and bring your hands to heart center, Anjali Mudra. And just see if you can balance here for a little while. Good for balance, good for the ankles, great for the hips. Inhale, coming up and releasing your right leg. Go to the left side. So inhale, raising the left leg, bending the right leg, cross the left shin over the right thigh, bending with the right leg. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Figure of 4 standing. Inhale and come up and put your leg down on the ground. Wonderful. This time we'll do tree pose. So tree pose, we're going to be balancing again on one leg. So just make sure you've got your drishti, that point of focus that you can use in front of you. So we're going to I'm going to bounce on our left foot first. So just lift your left foot up and then sort of drag it along the ground and plant it very consciously back on the earth, connecting especially with those 4 corners. And then with your right foot, lift it up and just put it either on your ankle. You can have the toes on the floor if you're really wobbly, on your ankle or your shin. So modified tree pose. And we'll put our hands to Anjali Mudra. And just make sure that you're looking at that point. Notice the energy from your left leg coming up your left hip, up your back, and through your crown. Inhale, and on the exhale, with control, release. Go the other side. So we'll scrape our toes along the floor and just plant our right foot on the ground. And left foot can be either toes on the ground or onto the thigh. Looking ahead. So the knee is pointing out to the side. So it's a bit of an exercise for the hip as well. And hands to Anjali Mudra. Hands to heart center, looking at that point in front of you for balance. Feeling the earth energies coming through your right foot, up your knee, your hip, through your body, and up to the crown of your head. Stability, calmness. And exhale, coming out of it. Well done. Fantastic. Okay, so bring yourselves down to sitting into Dandasana. So if we think about mountain pose, we were straight back. It's exactly the same thing, straight back, but our legs are out in front of us. So we're grounded through the sit bones. Our legs straight out in front of us. You can have a gentle bend in your knees if you like, and toes point towards your shins. Hands are by your hips, pointing forward, pointing towards your toes. Draw through the collarbones. Shoulders squeeze together, away from the ears. And again, we've got that stretch of the spine, right the way from the ground, all the way to the crown of the head. Dandasana, staff pose. Okay, so we'll bend our right foot in. So right foot is flat on the mat near our left knee or left thigh. And to do a twist. So we're going to wrap our left arm tightly around the right knee or the right shin. Inhale, stretch your right hand up in the sky and then drop it behind you. You might like to dome your fingers or have it flat, depends on the proportions of your body. Inhale and look over your right shoulder and really squeeze your right knee in towards your torso. So you're getting a beautiful stretch, a beautiful twist, but also you're massaging your internal organs with your right thigh. Inhale, stretching up. Exhale, look a little bit further over your right shoulder. Each time you inhale, imagine that thread stretching up to the sky. And every time you exhale, just twist a little bit further without forcing to see what your body can do. Inhale, stretching up, creating space, and exhale for twisting. One more time, inhaling and twisting. Keeping your feet and legs where they are, coming around to center, and then placing your hands by your left hip for a counter twist. And then come back to Dandasana staff pose. Do your legs feel the same now? Just notice how they feel. Sometimes I find one of them feels longer than the other one. And we'll do a twist on the left side. Left foot is in close to your knee and your thigh. Wrap your right arm around your left knee and squeeze it in tight. Inhale, stretch your left hand up, pointing to the sky, and then circle it backwards so it drops on the ground behind you. And you may be doming your hand or having it flat, depending on your proportions. As you inhale, stretch your torso up, and then exhale, looking over your left shoulder. So use the breath to help you move, but no forcing. Inhale, looking up, stretching up, I should say, and exhale, looking over your left shoulder. So your spine should be vertical. If your hand's too far back, you might be leaning back. Just see how you go. Inhale, stretching up, and exhale, twisting a little bit more. Keep the right leg active, toes pointing towards the shin. You might be active in one part of the body, but be aware of all of your body. Leaving your legs where they are, inhale and bring your hands round to the right hip. Frame the right hip with your hands for counterbalance. And then come back to center, legs straight. We'll do a boat. So sitting on your sit bones, your feet are flat on the floor, knees are up in the air, and your feet are about hip width apart. Have your hands under your thighs, just behind your, just above your knees. Inhale, and then just lean back so your body is on a diagonal. So what we're doing is activating the core here, so your navel's towards your spine, shoulders are away from the ears. And again, we want that long spine, crown stretching up that diagonal line. We've still got our feet on the floor.
Just activating through the core. And then exhale, come forward and just give yourself a hug. We'll do that again. This time we'll take our feet off the ground, so feet are hip width apart. We come back. Inhale as we go back, core is active, shoulders are down, and the crown is sort of facing backwards on the diagonal, and we're going to lift our legs up. Our shins are parallel with the floor. We'll do this for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax them down. Give yourselves another hug. And then one more time, we'll do this. Feet are hip width apart. So we've got our hands under our shins, our thighs again, tucking our chin in. Navel is active, so the core is active. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, going backwards, and we have our shins parallel with the mat. And this time we'll take our hands away if that serves us. One of the other two is quite fine. Hands and arms parallel with the mat. Just holding it there for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and 1, and relax, hugging in again. Well done. And lying on the ground, also still having the knees bent, feet hip width apart behind the buttocks. Hands are by the hips, by your torso, palms down, quite close into your torso. Just lean towards the left and tuck your right shoulder blade closer to the center line. And then lean to the right and tuck your left shoulder blade closer to the center line. So you broaden through the chest and you can sort of feel your shoulder blades under your back. We're going to do a bridge. So we're going to be inhaling and then we're going to be pushing through our heels, pushing our hips up to the sky and broadening through our chest. So just make sure you've got your feet hip width apart and your palms are facing down because you'll be pressing into your palms and your forearms and upper arms. Inhale, and as you inhale, push through the heels, push the hips up towards the sky, press through the top of your head, the back of your head and your arms. Bridge pose. Inhale, spread your chest wide. Chin is pointing towards the ceiling. And exhale, come down vertebrae by vertebrae, placing them consciously on the mat, each part of your back. You might notice you have more awareness of some parts of your back than others. Do that one more time. Make sure your shoulder blades are still under your back. Palms are facing down, pressing into your hands. Inhale, pushing through your heels. Push your hips up towards the sky, pressing through your hands and arms, even the back of your head, chin towards the ceiling. Take a few breaths here. Take a deep inhale now. And then as you exhale, again, place your vertebrae back on the mat, one by one. Well done. Okay, so with our knees still bent, right leg crosses over the left leg really tightly in a tight cross. Both legs go towards the right. And your hands can come out either in a T, or if you haven't got much space, you can put them behind your neck. Put your hands behind your neck. But either way, keep both shoulders on the ground. So your legs are crossed and they've gone out to the right. Look towards the left. And just notice that stretch in your left side body, especially in your left and right hip. Start to connect in with your breath again. Inhale, navel to spine as you come up to center. Uncross your legs. Just adjust if you need to. And then cross your left leg over your right leg again, nice and tightly, and drop them both to the left. Looking to the right this time. Breathing through your side body, your right side body. Allowing your breathing to settle down a little bit as we cool down. Navel to spine, inhale and come up. And this time bring both knees into the chest, hands on your shins or clasped across your shins, and squeeze them in tight. You might like to roll from side to side. Wind release pose. Massaging your abdominal organs. Constricting them, and then as we release, all the blood comes back into them. And just move your hands to your knees and move your knees in a circle away from you and then towards you. So you inhale as your knees go away and exhale as they come towards you. Inhale as they go away and exhale as they come towards you. And when you get to a point furthest away from you, change directions. So inhaling again, and then exhale as your knees come towards you, come into your chest. Send your left leg long, flat on the mat, but keep your right knee into the chest. So squeeze your right leg in tight, hands around your right shin. You can squeeze it into your chest, and you might like to take it over to your armpit for a bit more of a stretch. And don't forget to be stretching through your left leg at the same time. And then let your right leg go, left leg comes in. Clasp your hands around the left shin, squeeze your left thigh in towards your chest. You might like to take it out towards your armpit, stretching all the time through your right leg as well. And then let your left leg go. Coming into Shavasana, stretching your legs long. Nice and comfortable, heels tracking into the mat. Let your toes drop out to the side. Allow your hands to fall next to you, palms up. Tuck in your chin so that you have length in the back of your neck. And in your mind's eye, think of each part of your body as we do a body scan for relaxation. See your feet and ankles relaxing. Shins and knees relax. Thighs and hips relax. Pelvis relax. Hands and wrists relax.
Forearms and elbows relax. Upper arms and shoulders relax. Collarbones relax. Abdomen relaxes down. Buttocks relax. Chest relaxes. Your neck and throat relax. Tongue and mouth relaxes. Draw your lips back from your teeth and replace them in a gentle smile. Stretch your eyebrows up to the top of your head and then relax them. Scalp relaxes. Skin on your face relaxes. Your eyes relax down into their sockets. As the body relaxes, so the mind follows. As the body stills, so the mind calms. If any thoughts arise, just let them pass like clouds in the sky. And when you're ready, just introduce a little bit of movement into your fingers and thumbs, into your toes and feet. You might like to stretch long, stretch your legs, stretch your arms overhead. And then curl up into a tight ball. Before rolling to one side. Take a couple of breaths in that transition pose. And then push up into Sukhasana, easy seat, where we started. And we'll finish with 3 breaths. We'll put our hand on our abdomen and one hand on the chest. Inhale, feel your abdomen, chest, and shoulders expand. And exhale, feel them relaxing down. Inhale, notice the expansion. And exhale, noticing the relaxation. Inhale, beautiful, clean, fresh energy. And exhale to relax. Bringing your hands to heart center. We bow our thinking minds to our loving hearts in gratitude for practice today. And gratitude for our ability to create calmness within. Calmness that can serve us and nourish all those around us. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.